began 17 years ago when literally I was trying to help a couple of men inner city Columbus. And as I was in a church small group trying to disciple them with a group of other men, they had fallen away. A lot of discouragement was there, a lot of things that they were doing inner city wise that dealt with drugs and court cases and all kinds of stuff that men get into in their time of sin. Really discouraged me. And as I was just trying to search, because I knew something was within me. There was a calling there was a searching going on that what my wife and I would speak of constantly. As these men just fell away, I was kind of in a frustrated moment as I was going around one of our Route 270 corridors and just frustrated, talking to God. Next thing I know, God just literally showed up in a big way. I sensed something I'd never felt in my life, which was just a sense that he said the purpose of where I was going was that there'd be a place for men such as these that he wanted to start. And it'd be a place where they would receive his unconditional love and acceptance, and a place that they would truly come to know him as their father, true father. And as that happened, my emotions couldn't even contain it. I actually had to pull over on the side of the road because I was in such peace. It truly blew my mind. And from there, I knew I had had something, some unction, something that God had spoke to me. I didn't quite know specifically what I was to do about it, but then the journey began of seeking God and figuring that out. So as you may know as well, when you've had an experience with God, the next steps can get a little bit scary, a little bit fearful. So I went through a journey of trying to find out, what is this exactly supposed to do in my life? What am I to do with this experience? And from there, I truly didn't even want to move or change or do anything. I was looking for anything else, as many of you may relate to, than what he was calling me to do. So just because we have this calling doesn't always mean it's all exciting and it's warm and fuzzy after the fact, because reality sinks in. Major changes may have to happen, major faith steps may have to take place, and then as we do that, that affects everyone around us, our family, our children, our wives, etc. So here I was looking for somewhere else that I could send someone to, and I could just pay for it, stay where I was, and that would be that. But God, of course, had a different plan. So we literally walked through a process, and I won't go into detail, but we sold our home, sold our business, and moved a couple hours away to begin this journey with God. So my wife and I and 4 children, I have 4 sons, we all moved 2 hours away. And as we did that, sometimes specifically the plans and all the things you write down on paper aren't there. It was almost like an Abraham experience where he just said, go. So our journey has been totally faith. We moved there. We didn't know where the resources would come from. We didn't even know where the men would show up from, but we bought a farm, 108 acres on this farm, and just kind of waited upon the Lord. And the first thing he did, he sent some leadership. A guy felt called, he had heard about this, and sensed that he was drawn to it. So he was actually lining up with scriptures that I had, the purpose for what it was, everything involved. And then he and I started it together as he moved in. And then after that, it was literally the men forming and developing this ministry over the last 17 years. It was just kind of walking out a certain process. And then the men, you could see the fruit, or you could see the non-fruit, the rotten fruit, and you make changes and tweak it as you go. So this is going to be a walk of faith. And most importantly, God's more interested in the man or the woman than he is the ministry. So for me, it's been about an intimate relationship with God, and for me to get to know him deeper, and for us to walk together and see what he does to bring his glory to himself. So it's a definite journey of intimacy.